What's up guys, Mickle here, and we just got some shocking new news that Congress might be right around the corner to providing cryptocurrency regulations to the US market. In this video, I want to break down what just happened and why this might actually not be so good for XRP. I actually have a pretty interesting take on this. I don't think a lot of people are going to have this opinion. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video to see that. There is a lot to talk about here. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Make sure you take a second to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It's really going to help me out so much. Also, if you ever need a good place to buy some XRP or the Flare token, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said though, let's jump right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. So I want to start this video out and quickly go over an absolutely absurd video that Gary Gensler put out the other day. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to play you this video. I know at this point, Gary Gensler is probably pretty insufferable to all of us. I could barely listen to this whole thing without shutting it off. Pretty much, Gary Gensler in this video was trying to say that pretty much all cryptocurrencies should come in and register. They're all securities, but his logic for that had nothing to do with securities law, but instead made up some absurd analogy about walking your goldfish in a park instead of a dog, and then telling an officer, "Sorry, officer, I'm not walking my dog, I'm walking a goldfish." It hardly made any sense. It was one of the stupidest things I've ever listened to, but it is so on par with Gary Gensler's MO. This guy refuses to talk about actual law. He wants these cryptocurrency companies to come in and register, and he won't even break down why they have to do that. Instead, he goes on these absurd tangents talking about absolutely nothing, tries to dumb it all down and say, "Oh, don't worry. If it quacks like it's a duck, come in and register." But he doesn't tell you how to come in and register, and he doesn't even make it clear why you should come in and register. Gary Gensler goes out of his way to say, well, not every single cryptocurrency is a security, but I'm not going to tell you how you know which ones are and which ones aren't. This guy has completely lost it, but the main reason why I really broke this down was I wanted to show you John Deaton's response, because I think this is one of the most important things to understand. John Deaton said, "Hey Gary and the SEC Enforcement Division, how about you cite a single case in the last 76 years since how it was decided that says the underlying asset used in an investment contract is itself a security, or two, the subsequent sale of an investment contract are also securities because of the first sale." I challenge the SEC to cite one case in US history that says this exact thing. What John Deaton is pointing out here is the SEC's policy towards cryptocurrencies is made up out of thin air. The SEC is trying to go around telling everyone that this is the first time in history the asset itself is a security. Yes, you heard that right. There has never been another scenario in history where the asset itself, the underlying thing, is considered the security. Gary Gensler is running around saying, oh, it's clear and obvious, but what he is trying to do has never been done before in history. It is absolutely absurd, and it gets even worse when you talk about secondary sales. Imagine buying something from a company, and maybe you can have a little debate. Okay, maybe when they sold you that thing, maybe they offered it like a security, maybe it's a little confusing. But imagine after you already own the thing, going and selling it to a friend, and the SEC comes knocking on the door and say, oh, well, that's also a securities transaction. It's absolutely absurd. It doesn't make any sense. There is no case law for it, but that's what the SEC says is clear and obvious. They say, oh, everyone should perfectly understand this. It has never happened before in US history. There's no case law, but it's clear and obvious this is all securities offerings. Every single one of these digital assets is a security. John Deaton absolutely nails it here. He calls out that the SEC isn't taking some strict stance towards crypto. They are taking a stance that is illogical. The SEC's goal here is to try to designate cryptocurrencies as something that will literally break the technology. The SEC wants to give cryptocurrencies a status in the United States that will literally make them unable to be used for their intended use case. And one of the craziest things that I just don't even think gets talked about enough is how absurd the SEC stance is when it comes to these cryptocurrencies. The SEC took the stance in the Ripple SEC case that cryptocurrencies like XRP don't have utility. The SEC literally said to the judge in the Ripple SEC case, hey judge, we're not even sure if XRP has utility like Ripple is saying it does. Well, just the other day, Weezy Win put out a pretty interesting tweet about how the XRPL never has a holiday, and it just makes you think. The SEC is trying to say that a 24/7, 365 decentralized instant payment platform, instant settlement platform, I should say, doesn't have utility? Do you understand how absurd that is? The XRPL is technology the world has never seen before. It completely transforms the way payments work all around the world. They're interoperable, they're always liquid, they happen 24/7, 365, and they happen instantaneously in the fraction of a second for pennies on the dollar. And the SEC says that's no utility? It is absolutely insane, and in my opinion, the SEC's case should have been dismissed the second they said something like that. You shouldn't be able to bring a lawsuit without understanding the fundamental technology, or else you can hardly even understand the issue at hand. Imagine if I started suing some app and went to the judge and said, oh, well, I don't really use the app, I don't understand how it works, I'm just bringing this lawsuit because this is how I think it works. That doesn't make any sense. My assumption could be wrong, and that could have forced me to get the law wrong. But that's what the SEC is doing here. They went to the judge and said, oh, well, this whole technology that Ripple's doing, oh, it has no utility. It doesn't actually do anything. And Ripple's like, okay, well, the whole premise of your argument is probably wrong then. If you don't understand the technology, then that's probably why you're suing us. You think we're pushing some Ponzi scheme to the market, and meanwhile billions of dollars are flowing over this network annually. You just can't wrap your head around that. I hope this really shows how absurd the SEC's position has been. A lot of people get so lost in the nuance of what the SEC is trying to say. They think, oh, well, Ripple did do this one little thing over here that was a little weird, and then Ripple did this other little thing really weird over here, and the SEC tries to hyper-focus on these anomalies, but when you zoom out and take a big picture look at everything going on here, it is so easy to understand that the SEC's case literally doesn't make any sense from a fundamental point of view. So now I want to finish this video off and quickly talk about some breaking news coming out of Congress, and this is something I certainly did not expect to see. Now, I actually do not think this is good news for XRP, and it's a little bit of a selfish viewpoint. I want to break down why that is the case. First, I want to play you the video though. This is actually really good news for the entire cryptocurrency industry. Let me play you the clip. I'll break down why I don't think it's so good for XRP. I think you guys are going to understand, but don't worry, it's not any reason to actually be upset. It's just a little selfish. Listen up to this.
Over the next 2 months is report a bill out that deals with both the capital raising piece for digital assets all the way through how a product can go from a securities regime to a commodities regime. And also at the same time, preserve our right around products that are neither neatly into a securities or commodities regime, and the ability for people to exchange those things. So those are the two pieces of news: the joint hearing and then our time frame. And our time frame is a purposeful one to get fast action out of our committees. We've worked on it. We've worked on these matters for months, and in fact years, in coming together with policy. But we're going to have public hearings for the next couple of months and build out a bill that deal out of the Ag Committee, now the Financial Services Committee, that does what is necessary for bringing clarity to digital assets.
So people like John Deaton have been saying for a while now, I don't think we're going to get cryptocurrency legislation in the next 2 years. Well, it looks like we might get it a lot sooner than many people have been predicting. So how is that bad for XRP? Well, it's actually really good for XRP if you think Ripple's going to lose the case. If you think Ripple's going to lose this case against the SEC, well, this is amazing because as soon as they lose, it might just get overturned by the laws that Congress passes. But why is it actually bad for XRP? Well, it's only bad for XRP if you think Ripple's going to win the case very soon and if you think XRP won't be declared a security. Because if that's the case, then XRP really loses its head start to a large degree. Now, it might still get a couple month head start, but I thought for a while that XRP might have like a 2 or 3 year head start. I had a feeling we might be in a situation where XRP might have a monopoly on the cryptocurrency market. if we really do have laws passed by Congress this year or even next year, it's not going to be as much of a head start as I thought might happen. Now, I've been confident Ripple's going to win this case and XRP won't be a security, which is critical in XRP getting this head start. If Ripple actually lost the case and XRP was declared a security and there was no laws passed by Congress, that would be the worst case scenario. So it's not like this is really bad for XRP. I'm pretty confident Ripple is going to win, XRP won't be a security, and XRP is going to have a regulatory head start. Now, I thought that head start was going to be a little longer, but if we do get these laws from Congress, it might only be a couple months or maybe a year max. Either way, it really is the best thing for all of crypto, and I don't think this is some bear case. I want XRP to be the #1 cryptocurrency out there because it's the best platform to use. I don't want it to be because some regulators gave it a head start on accident and the rest of the industry is going to be held back. I'd rather XRP just win outright. I know it can. I know the technology's there. I know Ripple is going to build amazing things in the future. I know the XRP community is going to build amazing things in the future. And I don't think we need this regulatory head start in order for the XRP to succeed. Just my opinion on what kind of played out there. My first thought was, wow, I can't believe this is happening. And then I thought, that kind of stinks if XRP gets clarity from this court case and then immediately after the rest of the industry gets the same clarity, but good for the rest of the industry. I'm glad we're at least getting places. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.